And let's talk about this intense fighting. What can you tell us about that troop loss and, indeed, Russia's response, Nick?
Yeah, I think if it was just a one-off scenario where we'd heard of a sort of a high Russian casualty count and criticism of commanding officers and trying to raise the flag back in, back with the politicians in the rest of Russia, then there's a possibility it could be dismissed as, as an aberration. But this is not. This is consistent with criticisms that have been surfacing, particularly since President Putin called for this conscription about a month or so ago. He's said now that there are more than 80,000 that are trained, more than 50,000 of those recruits put in the front line. But the consistent narrative, and this is the one amplified by this letter about the loss or death or wounding of over 300 Marines, is that the troops are getting to the front line. They're not adequately informed about where they're going. They don't have the right equipment. They don't have enough ammunition. They don't have enough weapons. They don't have enough protective helmets and flak jackets. It's also consistent with what we're hearing from Ukrainian troops who tell us that they see these new recruits being forced, these new Russian recruits being forced to the front lines, and they can say, these Ukrainian troops that are witnessing this are experienced at the front line, and they can see these Russian conscripts on the other side being inexperienced. They're watching them in drones. They don't know how to behave on the battlefront, is what one Ukrainian soldier said to us, and they are seeing these new recruits being used as essentially cannon fodder, sent forward by more professional private military contractor mercenaries, if you will, of the Wagner Group, sent forward by them to really illuminate where the Ukrainian troops are. The Ukrainian troops fire at the conscripts moving forward. That gives away their firing position. But the Ukrainians are saying that they can see the bodies piling up. So the image that emerges is a consistent one. That the battlefront right now is very hot. We know on the Ukrainian side there are casualties too there. It is a very intense battlefront right now. But from the Russian side, the losses are even shocking the Ukrainians at the moment.